just smell the death that's coming out of these super trawlers.
It looks like science fiction. It's like not real somehow.
I don't think there is any place for fishing of any sort down here.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel here. It's me here, Carmen Lavender here, and today I'm back with another anti-capitalism, true crime, deep dive YouTube video topic. Today I want to do the topic of how a gold rush for krill dietary supplements and other industries is unaliving Antarctica. So let's get started in this YouTube video topic. But before we get started, all my YouTube videos that relate to this topic right now will be on the screen right now if you'd like to check them out. Other YouTube videos that relate to this topic will be on the screen right now, other YouTube videos I've done. So let's get started on this YouTube video topic. From the fish in your supermarket to the supplements in your health food store, traces of its most important animal are everywhere. Hidden in plain sight, krill, the tiny crustacean at the center of the Antarctic food chain web, eaten by everything from gentoo penguins to multiple types of whales, is being targeted by fishing fleets in ever-increasing numbers. It's turned into fish meal for the world's industrial salmon factory farms, into food for livestock and pets, and even transferred into omega-3 supplements for the diet industry and the health industry. These capitalism activities have been ravaging Antarctica's remote, frigid, biodiverse waters through overfishing that now more than ever, scientists and activists and researchers say threatens the very base of the food chain and the environment's sustainability. In addition to this, their swarms act as amazing carbon sinks and are a vital role in climate change, capturing many megatons of carbon every single year, which is sequestered into the molted exoskeletons, while krill have long been used in aquaculture to fatten factory farm fish like salmon and in the pet food industry. It wasn't until a decade ago when krill oil started becoming a gold rush for the dietary supplement health industry. Marketed as a superior and sustainable alternative to fish oil, Antarctica krill products are touted as more effective in delivering omega-3 fatty acids than fish oil, which have been linked to improved heart and brain health. However, according to critics, the National Institute of Health, the world's largest agency responsible for biomedical and public health research, omega-3 supplements haven't been shown to reduce the risk of heart disease. The multi-billion-dollar dietary supplement industry is feeding on the claims, with some of the hundreds of manufacturers and companies selling their krill products to consumers boasting that we only use superior source krill that is harvested in the waters of Antarctica, while others promise that krill is sustainably harvested from pristine waters. But for all the greenwashing claims of sustainability, the rise in demand has seen quotas reaching with alarming speed. Krill in Antarctica have been harvested by about a dozen super bottom trawlers. These massive vessels are floating factories, some the size of football pitches, capable of vacuuming up more than 1,000 tons of krill every single day. Krill fishing happens almost exclusively in the southwest Atlantic, focusing on South Georgia, the South Orkney Islands, and the western Antarctic Peninsula, including the South Shetland Islands, said Dr. Reiser. The fishery is open all year round, but vessels usually only fish between the western Antarctic Peninsula in late summer and autumn. This forms a big overlap with the parts of Antarctica visited by the polar cruise industry. It seems that where there is krill, there's a draw for tourists and tourist attractions and fishing vessels alike. This was particularly observed in 2022 when biologists on board the expedition cruise ship National Geographic observed commercial krill fishing boats taking place within a foraging supergroup of nearly 1,000 fin whales. The presence of superfish trawlers in these feeding grounds isn't just disruptive. Sea Shepherd said it is dangerous. According to the nonprofit organization, one of the largest marine conservation activism groups in the world, direct competition with marine animals seems inevitable, a reality dramatically underscored when 4 juvenile humpback whales were entangled by a Norwegian krill boat in 2021 and 2022. Moreover, while the end of commercial whaling has allowed populations to rebound, a new study by the University of California, Santa Cruz, found that pregnancy rates among humpback whales in Antarctica has been falling sharply, possibly due to lack of krill, their main food source. Chinstrap penguins and fur seals face similar stresses. A hungry whale eats a lot of krill. It is estimated that an adult Antarctic blue whale requires about 4.2 tons of krill per day, with fin whales consuming only slightly less. The numbers are staggering, Dr. Rensler explained. Before being decimated by commercial whaling, large whales consumed about 430 million tons of krill per year in the Southern Ocean. Several scientists have been warning that stricter controls must be put in place so krill can continue to thrive in its vital role as buffer against climate change and sustenance for whales, penguins, and seals. Krill, according to new research published by the World Wildlife Fund, remove as much as 23 megatons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere every single year. That's the equivalent of taking off the road 5 million cars every year.
The world's last wilderness, not so pristine. On the surface, Antarctica appears untouched. Close up, the effects of humankind's littering of the world's oceans are clear. Greenpeace scientists gathered water and snow samples during a 3-month voyage. Laboratory analysis revealed humanity's footprint on this most remote corner of the globe.
It was about 1 microplastic piece at least per litre. When you think of, extrapolating that out to the scale of the Antarctic Ocean, it's really, really significant. And, previously we thought that the Antarctic Ocean might be sort of protected by the currents around it as a sort of barrier to the plastic pollution that's a scourge in so much of the world's oceans. But now evidence is increasingly showing that that may not be the case.
The research also revealed the presence of chemicals known as per- and polyfluorinated alkylated substances, widely used in industrial processes and linked to reproductive and developmental problems for wildlife.
And this just strengthens the rationale for why we need to be taking action on land to stop that flow of plastic into the ocean, but also creating huge ocean sanctuaries at sea to allow wildlife to recover from these pressures.
It's estimated that 8 million metric tons of plastic are dumped into the ocean every year.
2 recent studies reported that Antarctic krill ingest various types of microplastics, especially fibers from clothing and other textiles. These findings emphasize how our plastic use impacts seemingly remote environments. Even the polar environment is not free of microplastic pollution. Scientists have previously detected microplastics in hundreds of marine animals, including crustaceans, worms, fish, sea turtles, and seals. They even found plastic ingesting animals around the world, from the northern Atlantic to the coastal Argentina to the South China Sea. But because the relatively isolated location of the Southern Ocean, Jin says, it was unclear to what degree Antarctic species would be impacted as well. Compared with other regions, Jin writes, the Antarctic is a relatively clean area with very limited influence by human activities. A 2019 study estimated that surface waters near the Antarctic Peninsula had on average around 1,800 plastic pieces per square kilometer. Other oceans worldwide typically range from 1,000 to 100,000 pieces per square kilometer, although these values can reach close to 900,000 in particular polluted areas like the Mediterranean. After scooping up krill with large nets at 26 different sampling sites, Jin and his colleagues examined the animals and found microplastics inside krill from each site. The research recorded a wide range of different types, sizes, and colors of plastic within the Antarctic krill, and they published these findings in the Science of the Total Environment. The scientists could not identify the exact origins of the microplastic pollution that ended up inside the krill they collected. Both teams point to fishing gear and laundry used by research, commercial fishing, and tourism operations in the Antarctic as potential local sources of plastic pollution, but they also suspect that at least some of the plastic may have traveled to the Southern Ocean from a ways away. New research shows that increased levels of plastic pollution in the Southern Ocean could reduce the ability of Antarctic krill, a tiny shrimp-like crustacean, to help take CO2 from the atmosphere. These results are published this month in the Journal of Marine Pollution Bulletin. Antarctic krill feed on phytoplankton. These tiny plants that live in the ocean absorb CO2 and remove carbon when their poo sinks into the deep ocean. Research from British Antarctic Survey found that the presence of nanoplastics in seawater, plastic particles more than 100 times smaller than the width of a human hair, could reduce the ability of the krill poo to remove and store CO2 in the deep ocean by 27%.